Today, we're going to take a look at the Cambridge Audio Evo 150 all-in-one player. This is an integrated amplifier with network streaming built in. It features 150 watts per channel. It also has a little sibling called the Evo 75, which you may have guessed has 75 watts per channel. We're going to look at some of the features here, but before we get too deep into it, let's just talk about the front, and we're going to talk about the side panels as well. The front has a display screen, which we'll take a look at here in just a few minutes after we get it plugged in. And it also has some buttons on the front that allow you to turn it on, turn it off. It's got play, pause, track advance, go backwards to track. Also allows you to choose what you want for the display screen as well. Also, we have a volume knob, that's the black, and then the silver part is independent of the black, and it is the input selector. Additionally, you have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, so if you are needing this for just personal audio use, it is a great option for that, and I think you'll enjoy it very much. Furthermore, before we go into the inputs and some of the more technical data, we have this side panel. This comes in a beautiful walnut side panel, but that is a removable side panel, as you can see, and you can easily replace that with something with a little bit more of a modern look here. And it's easily replaced. Additionally, there is the Evo 150 DeLorean model that has recently come out, and we'll talk about that as well. So let's take a look at the front and the back of this Evo 150. We'll start with the display screen that's on there, and as you can see, starting out, you have the option of different display screens. The first one that I probably keep it on the most is going to be the one that has the album art along with track information. Your next option is going to be track information only, and then the next option is going to be just the album art. Now, there is also the option to use a VU meter, but that's not currently in play with everybody just yet as of the recording of this video. I'm going to show you what it looks like right here. We're going to take a look at that VU meter dancing a little bit, and it's just going and going and going. But the VU meter is only available for people that are willing to be part of the beta testing. So it's an early firmware release thing. You can see the dial going up and down for the volume. If you do that with your phone app, or if you do that with the dial that's actually on the unit, that's what the display comes out as, showing you all that kind of stuff. But anyway, that's a pretty cool thing with the VU meter. A lot of audiophiles have always just loved VU meters, and I know I'm kind of a big fan of them. Let's go into the rear handle of the Evo 150, and I'll talk about this, but I'll also talk about the difference between the 150 and the 75. You can see we'll start out. We've got some speaker terminals, obviously. With the Evo 150, you have set A and set B for both right and left. With the Evo 75, you only have one set of terminals, so you have right and left, and there's not an A/B option. Up there, you can see the Evo CD port, and that is a port designed specifically for connecting an Evo CD player from Cambridge Audio. Then you have the audio return channel ARC, so the HDMI ARC. You run your TV through that. This is one of the best features on here for a lot of people, because a lot of folks, they don't want a big AV receiver. They want something better than their TV. They want something better than their soundbar, but they don't want a full surround system. They just want a couple of great speakers being run and being heard from their TV. So that is a fantastic option. Then you have a couple of different USB ports. You have USB audio, and then you have USB media. The USB audio also has a ground switch, so you've got three different positions. Position one is the default position that you should start with, and if you start getting hum from your USB audio devices, so that's going to be your PC or your Mac computer, you can run into that directly. The USB media is going to be something like a thumb drive, any sort of media stick type thing, USB storage device. That's what you can use that for. Obviously, you have the Ethernet port there. If you want to have a more secure, little stronger connection, more reliable connection to your router, the Ethernet port is a great way to go. Those of you that are into control systems, you've got triggers in and out. You also have the trigger in for IR, but you also have the RS-232. So if you have want to do some integration into a control system, you have that going for you. Down on the bottom, and by the way, the 75 is not going to have that. It's going to have it does not have the RS-232 port as part of that. Going down to the bottom, you have your coax in, then you have two optical inputs. Evo 75 only has one. With this, a lot of folks are going to love this. You have XLR in. XLR is a balanced cable, and it really does sound better than your RCA inputs. And then you have your aux in for your RCA inputs. You also have a phono with a ground. And the phono is moving magnet only. You don't get the option of a moving coil on this. If you want to use a moving coil, you're going to have a phono pre-stage and go into probably your aux in or go into an XLR. So you can figure that out. The Evo 75 does not have the phono input. You also have your sub out and you have a pre-out. So if at some point you decide, hey, I love the functionality of this, but I want to up my amplifier game and I want to run different speakers, you don't have to get rid of this unit. You get to keep this one and you can use it as your preamp. And that's something that I absolutely love. For those of you that are younger and you are living in a situation where maybe you can't go with the big audio system, this is such a great option to get you into something that's an elevated experience, but not necessarily going to be your ultimate experience, but it can one day play a role in your ultimate experience. And that's something that I really love about this. Now, there are any number of reasons why you may want to step into the Cambridge Audio Evo 150. I can think of a few off the top of my head. Let's say you've got an older system that's pretty bulky. You've got amplifier, tape deck you don't use anymore, CD player you don't use anymore, and you really don't even know how to get your phone into it. Well, the Evo 150 is a great way for you to take the way you currently listen to music, which is with your phone and streaming, and take that into a higher end audio experience. And you can probably run your current speakers, if you like them, you can run those current speakers with the Cambridge Audio Evo 150. Another great option is for using with your television. Obviously with the HDMI ARC, that makes this very simple and it's a great experience. It's for a person that's ready to listen to something better than their TV speakers, something better than a soundbar, but not ready to go into a big, huge surround system because maybe they just don't have the room, maybe they don't want to alter things, maybe they don't want wires running all over the place. Whatever the option, whatever the reason, the Evo 150 is a great way to take your television and move it into the two-channel world and sound absolutely fantastic. And then finally, a lot of you are ready to make that first step into higher end audio, and you've been flirting with some maybe streaming amplifiers that are lower end, just wanting to see if you enjoy that. You've enjoyed that experience, but you're ready to take it to the next level. The Cambridge Audio Evo 150 has been used in the shop to run Monitor Audio's Gold Series, whether it's the towers or the bookshelves. Same with the Monitor Audio Silver Series. Used them with Phase Technologies PC Series, both bookshelf and towers. And we've also used them with the Dolly Opticons. All of them have performed wonderfully with the Cambridge Audio amplifier behind them. It's got nice depth and a lot of warmth. And I do want to actually address that, because getting into Cambridge Audio, one of my hesitations was the fact that when I listened to Cambridge Audio, let's say 30 years ago, I found that system to be a little on the bright side and a little bit edgy. Now, that was a smaller, much older system, and actually was using smaller speakers. So maybe I'm judging that off of a bad experience and a bad setup. But I will say, with what I'm listening to now, I absolutely love these things. They just deliver a very dynamic bass impact, but also the highs are nice and smooth, and they don't get on my nerves at all. I'm a guy that's actually fairly sensitive to highs, and I need something that's not going to cause listening fatigue. And I've listened to the Cambridge Audio Evo 150 playing any number of different speakers, and not once have I gotten fatigued listening to those. So it's a great option to take care of that. Along with all the other input options, it's just a great choice. So give me a call at Vassal High End Audio and Home Theater, 417-434-5049. We're here in the 4 states, serving Missouri, Arkansas, Kansas, and Oklahoma. And we're ready to take care of you and get you set up with your new Cambridge audio amplifier.